Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny, and this is Creating Crafts with Jenny. And I'm going to I filmed what I did was I created a paint by number by hand, very simple paint by number. And what I did was I took and I'll show you some footage here in just a minute. I just wanted to kind of explain what it was that I did. Was I took just regular paints, and these are like these little tube like paint sort of thing, and I created my own paint by number, and a very simple paint by number, that sort of thing. And I think it had like 7 colors to it, and I used a canvas board as my canvas. And so I think it turned out really cute. I did go back and I did, several layers of paints and that sort of thing. I did some glitter. I'll switch you down here. I did a little bit of glitter in the stream here. And it's still kind of drying in some places. I got a moon. I've got, and basically it's just very simple paint by number. And you'll see in the footage where Okay, so I created my own paint by number. So I took, sorry, there's always camera delays there. So what I did was I sectioned it off, and I've got 1 through 7 here, and I picked some colors. I may swatch out colors, so I've got tubes of paint standing by just in case. I have one glitter paint. I may or may not like it. I may have to do this in stages. That's why I'm painting down here first. So I may let a section dry, and if I don't like the paints, I may have to move on. So I may have to do a section and then come back and paint more later. And that's okay too. But I thought this would be a really fun thing to do with kids, to get them acclimated to paints. That sort of thing. And these were art skill. I'm not quite sure where I got these. Yeah, I'm not sure where I bought these. I have a tendency to buy paints wherever I find them. I want to say Five Below, but I'm not quite sure. I think the glitter paint that I'm coming up with here, I think these are from Five Below. And if I remember correctly, they're quite watery. So we'll see. Okay, so the number 1 I picked, and I put labels on my tubes. And I'll go from dark to light, and I've got a little river thing going on here. I've got a moon and a sky. So I've got a bunch of blues. So you're going to do this dark blue to light blue. This may take a couple of coats here. The paints aren't mixed with anything. I'm just going straight in with the paint. And again, this mimics a paint by number concept. This is how like murals are done, where you got to know where the paints go, right? They'll do like a paint by number concept. I may do a couple coats too. This is the first coat going down, so it's kind of a foundation. This is a canvas board. It's not just a canvas, just a board. Here's cheddar. We also have one over here. A great way to make your own paint by number. Like I said, I just drew it on, whatever you want to call it, in the canvas.
Okay, what you want to do?
Okay. I'm going to let that dry and then I'll come back.
I told myself where I wanted the colors. Now I did have to go in and erase the colors where it was light, because it was a light color. And right at the very end, I was going to put a color up here, and I went with white. There at the very end, I went with white as my sky, instead of the beigey color that I was going to go with. So that was kind of a change there at the last minute. So I kind of enjoyed this, and I think I will do a couple more of them. It was really easy to do, and it was really, I seen this on a mural years ago, and I was like, my husband was driving through a small town. I was like, oh my gosh, they're doing a huge paint by number. I was like, of course I wanted him to stop, and of course he didn't. Men driving, they're like, no, we can't stop for anything, right?
Oh no. But basically that's what they had done. They had whoever was painting it had trolled the mural on the side of the building, and then they had numbered where they wanted the paints to go, which makes sense, right? Because people are going to be painting, so 1 goes here, 2 goes there, and that sort of thing. So it was a huge paint by number. Well, you can do that with smaller paint by numbers. So if you're wanting like to do like a paint by number class, that sort of thing, for like kids and that sort of thing, you could do that really easy. For kids to say, you know, 1 goes, you know, one particular color all goes in 1 spot, that sort of thing. So they all come out looking almost the same color, that sort of thing. So it was kind of fun to use this, and like I said, it was really fun to do, and it's very simple art to do. I'll pick it up and show you what it looks like. Looks like that from a distance. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. Yeah, I did this one here. I'll show it on that camera there. The simple paint by number. I don't know that I'm going to add any plants or anything to this one like I've done in the past, but who knows? I may add something. I'm always adding things to my pictures, or my paintings, I should say, or pictures, whatever. Yeah, but I did add glitter just a little bit. I can see it. I don't know that it would show up on the camera. It probably won't, but that's okay. But I will show you the footage of me creating this, and I'll just run the footage. I don't think I did much talking. I was just kind of like concentrating on what I wanted to do, that sort of thing. So yeah, and I was trying to remember where I got these paints, and I really honestly don't. It's called Art Skills. I don't. At first I was thinking I got them from Five Below, but I don't think that's where I got them. I just don't remember. You know, these were actually sent to me as a promotion, but I didn't use these guys either. But these glitter guys, these are Five Below. And these little guys here, they're kind of watered down. So, and I was going to use this one, and they're all glittery. It's watered down glitter. So I really don't want to use these. But like I said, this was Art Skill. They are kind of watered down to some degree, but they turned out okay. It was fine. It was fine. The glitter paint was this Craft Smart, and I should have shook it up a little bit more before I used it, but that's okay. It turned out fine. Alright, so I'm going to get off here, and yeah, I think this turned out really cute. I will take some pictures and put it with the Smartest app I know, like I normally do, and I will put that here. And yeah, I think it's kind of cute. Alright, so I'm going to get off here and do some things with the family. What do I always tell you guys? Go out there. Be absolutely awesome. Do your thing, and I'll see you in my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.